having this hearing today, but it just seems to me the timing is bad. The house is on fire, and we're discussing new tires for the tire truck. Does a tire truck need good tires? Sure. Is that important? Of course. But not when the house is on fire. I want to talk about the house fire.
Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a heated exchange between Senator John Kennedy and a former USCIS official. This conversation is blowing the lid off the current border crisis. Let's break it down. Senator John Kennedy, known for his no-nonsense approach, just grilled a former USCIS official about the border crisis. He didn't pull any punches, folks. He said discussing minor issues now is like worrying about new tires for the fire truck when the house is on fire. Kennedy's been to the border 45 times and he's not impressed. He compared the current border enforcement to roadkill his old Beagle used to collect. Ouch, that's a visual I didn't need, but it sure drives the point home. The former USCIS official dropped a bombshell. They said the current crisis is all thanks to the new administration's policies since day one. Halting deportations, changing enforcement priorities, you name it. The official confirmed that if we still had the policies from December 31st, 2020, this crisis wouldn't exist. Let that sink in for a moment. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, smash that subscribe button. Now let's talk about the transition team. Kennedy wanted to know if they met with the official about border security. Turns out they did, but the official said the team seemed more interested in understanding the current situation than changing policies. Kennedy wasn't buying it. He suggested the transition team knew exactly what would happen if they changed the border policies. The plot thickens. The former official had some theories. Maybe it was a political tactic, create a problem, then swoop in to fix it. Or maybe it was as simple as Trump equals bad in their minds. So anything the previous administration did had to go. It's a pretty damning assessment, folks. The former official praised the previous administration's border management, saying Trump did a phenomenal job. But come January 20th, according to our witness, it all went off the rails.
I'm pleased we're having this hearing today, but it just seems to me the timing is bad. The house is on fire, and we're discussing new tires for the tire truck. Does a tire truck need good tires? Sure. Is that important? Of course. But not when the house is on fire. I want to talk about the house fire. I've been to the border.
45. Okay, never mind. I'll go.
I used to have a Beagle. His name was Roger. I loved Roger. I cried like a baby when he died. But Roger, like most Beagles, was incorrigible. About every third day, he'd run away. And eventually he'd come home, and he liked to collect roadkill. And he'd bring that roadkill into my backyard and hide it under my back porch. And the border enforcement that I've seen looks like some of the roadkill that Roger kept hidden under my back porch. Why are we having a crisis now at the border in 1 minute?
It's the administration policies that we've seen since the first day after inauguration, with the first executive order to halt deportations, with executive action to destroy, I'm sorry, not executive order, but executive order to make things easier for immigration, with the Department of Homeland Security halting deportations, with ICE guidance to return to prosecutorial discretion where only certain types of offenses can be prosecuted, can be enforced and can be put into immigration court or set for removal, where we ignore the fact that there are over 1 million people in this country with final orders of removal, none of which seem to be a priority for.
Mr. Edlow, let me interrupt you. I apologize. If we had the same policies in place today that we had on December 31st, 2020, in your considered judgment, would we be having this crisis?
No.
Did the Biden administration strike that? Let me try it another way. Did you meet with representatives of the Biden administration to talk about border security?
I can tell you that I had at least one meeting with the transition team, with Or Jadou, who was running the transition team, and I know that that team met with many people at USCIS, every different department at USCIS, and same with other agencies within DHS.
Did the people, the good people on the Biden transition team express an interest in changing border policy?
I don't, based on my conversation with them, Senator, no, it was more just trying to understand what was going on and where things.
Well, did you and your colleagues explain to them what would happen if we changed border policy?
I did not, and that was not the questions that were being asked to me, but I know that others within the department did have that frank conversation with those team members.
So the members of the Biden transition team knew if they changed the border policies, we would have a crisis.
I think any change in border policy that is so extreme would result in this, and I think they had to have known that.
But they did it anyway.
Correct. Especially the withdrawal and the ending of the MPP, migrant protection protocols.
Why do you think they did it if they knew there was going to be a crisis? If they knew that people from all over the world were going to be able to walk into our country, we don't have the slightest idea who they are. Why do you think they would allow that to happen?
It could be several reasons. It could have been a tactic, a political tactic, to then come back and try to fix the border themselves. It could have also been the what we've seen time and time again, that Trump equals bad. So anything that the president would have done, the former president would have done, had to be overturned, no matter how successful and how important it was in maintaining order at the border. And that's what I see this as. President Trump did a phenomenal job of giving the right people the keys to make sure that we could address the crisis along the border, that we could make sure that enforcement was where it needed to be. And unfortunately, that was just derailed on January 20th.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We've got a former insider pointing fingers, policies being questioned, and a crisis that, according to them, didn't have to happen. What do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, staying informed is crucial in these turbulent times. If you want more breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is your favorite political analyst, signing off.